Well, hello there, all you wonderful people in this great world. I'm Scott Cronk, artist extraordinaire, or just artist. I am an acrylic painter. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a return psychopath, welcome again. And if you're just stumbling across me for the first time and you're probably not going to make it past the intro, I'm glad you made it this far. Thank you. Anyways, I'm going to talk to you today about painting on a budget. Ooh, there's a floater. Sorry, little hair floating in the sky. And you know, me, I had to follow it. So anyways, painting on a budget. I'm thinking about changing my channel from Cronk Creations to painting on a budget, because when I start to do these videos I realize I do a lot of things really cheaply. I haven't showed you all my palettes yet. That will be another future video. Today we're going to talk about the watering can, or the where you wash your paintbrush station, or I don't know. There's probably a technical term for it, but I'm not high on technical terms. So anyways, I'm an acrylic painter, if you didn't know. I am. So all of my brushes and everything are water based. So all my paint is water based. My brushes aren't water based. That'd be weird. My paint is water based. So what that means is all you need is water to clean it up or thin it out, or according to what technique you're using. But for the most part, cleaning your paintbrushes, water. So you can get on Amazon, find bazillion different options for really fancy things to clean your paintbrushes in. Or you can go the really cheap route like I do. You can pretty much determine that you're going to ruin anything that you use unless you clean it and wash it after every use. But if you're not new to my channel, you realize that I am really tough on my art supplies. So I go, what is that? Whole kernel sweet corn. Libby's. I think it was probably on sale, or otherwise it'd probably be great value. But I use these. And I'm pretty sure pretty much everyone has some of these laying around. Or if you're not, eat some corn, have a can. You of course want one. Of course this one had water in it, and now I have a wet lap. Why not? So anyways, my can opener does really nice, smooth edges. You're not gonna probably want one that's sharp and jagged and you're going to cut your fingers open. I'm not gonna suggest that. That's a bad idea. But if you have one that does a nice smooth edge, these are great. You can take the label off if you want, so that you're not looking at baked beans and sweet corn. But I don't know. I'm kind of lazy, so I just leave the label on there. It's actually making me a little hungry. Maybe that's the point. It reminds me to eat while I'm painting, because you know, sometimes when you really get into a painting, everything else just kind of fades away and you forget to drink and you get dehydrated, you forget to eat, and you know, we need those to nourish our bodies. I'm not supporting Libby's here. They're not paying me anything. Or Van Champ's great pork and beans. These are good though. As well as sweet corn. I actually garden, so I do my own sweet corn, so I don't need these anymore. Pork and beans, I like pork and beans occasionally. It's not an everyday food, but on occasion it's pretty good. Anyways, so these are what I use for my watering cans. Normally at any one time that I'm painting, I'll have 5 of them sitting around filled up with water, so that, because I'm lazy, I don't want to be going and emptying dirty water and getting clean water. So that's why I have a lot of options, so that once one of them gets dirty, or sometimes if I'm doing a bunch of different colors, I'll have like this one blue, this one green, this one. Yeah, I don't know if it matters, but that's how I function, weirdly. So anyways, cans. They're available in different sizes. I actually really like these little water chestnuts. I don't know if you've ever had water chestnuts. They're kind of weird, but they kind of add a nice crunch to some things. They don't add a lot of flavor. That's not the point of this video, though. But obviously, I easily get sidetracked. I like these little ones because I can fill them with water. And I'm not using these for washing. I'm using these for thinning down my acrylics. Maybe I want something that I want to layer, or I just need a thin spot. I can easily access the water in these with a paintbrush. I'm not having to dip it way down in there. I can just dip it right there. And I can also, a lot of times I'll set these on my easel. So just right there for dipping water versus washing water. I also use this great big guy. I don't know what it was, peaches maybe, who knows. Maybe been more pork and beans. But I use these when I'm doing a lot of palette knife work because they're bigger. A lot of times when I'm doing my acrylic texture, I have to dip my fingers, and this one's nice and wide, and I can stick my fingers, a whole hand down in there if I need them to be wet. It's great for the palette knives. I can also add you can do a lot of this when I've got buildup on and it just kind of collects there, and it's not, filling up the area so I can't reach my water anymore. So I use a variety of different ones, and like I said, they're basically free because you bought, and there's more water in my lap. Wow, I'm glad y'all can't see my lap. It looks like I peed myself a lot. Because a lot of pee's obviously worse than a little bit of pee in your pants. Jesus. Anyway, so basically you bought them for the food, and then, if you recycle, great. Or you can use them as a water dish for 10 years and then recycle them. So they're getting a second life before they're just being shipped off to a dump or a recycling center. So yeah, that's what I use. I use just cheap things. I used to use glasses, but like I said, I kind of destroyed them, and then I'd have destroyed glasses, and that's not cool. So yeah, painting on the cheap, food containers. Great for your water. Sometimes if I have a large area that I'm painting all one color, I'll just fill one of these with paint. Boom. And then I have a big container of paint that I can easily walk around with and on the canvas. So anyways, that's what I use. Anyways, I'm Scott Cronk, acrylic artist, painter, person, fabulous, awesome person. Anyways, I digress. It's been great talking to y'all today. I hope I gave you a little bit of information that you're, corn. But yeah, painting on the cheap. Great container to wash your paintbrushes off in. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all later.